Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today is the day 27 for our PCNSA series. So I've already discussed about app ID in my previous video. If you have not watched that, I have explained it very deeply so that you can understand how an application ID works in Palo Alto Firewall. Now in today's video, what we are going to cover is how many application identify by Palo Alto Firewall. We are going to see that particular number. Okay. Now we'll take one of the application and we'll try to review that application. What are the characteristics? What are the parameters that it has? So we are going to understand that. Okay. And in the lab, we are going to configure app-id and we'll see how exactly it's configured and how it is working. So we are going to see all these points as it is very much important when you are implementing any app ID in your environment in Palo Alto Firewall. This is very important. So I'll request you to please watch this video till the end so that it will helpful for implementing any application or understanding any application or troubleshooting any application. And also I'll request you to please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss any video from me. So without any further delay, let's get started. So friends, let's understand how many applications are identified by Palo Alto. So whenever we are saying about this, how many application identify, meaning that the Palo Alto developers can basically put that intelligence inside the PAN OS so that it can understand those applications, right? So if you go to this particular website, it basically give you the real count number. But if you have PAN OS 10, if you have 11 or any updates, you will not have this application, this number, right? Because this is up to date. Maybe if you have updated your app ID version, maybe you will have the same number as well. But this particular website will have the correct and updated number. So you can basically visit this particular website. What I can do is I can put this website into the description box. You can basically go and take a look at this one. So right now it is basically understanding 4976 application. Okay. Now it has been categorized into multiple ways, like category on the business, then we have subcategory on technology based as well. And then we have risk based and we have characteristics based as well. So you can basically filter and you can get to know what kind of application, or maybe you can do a search on that. Maybe if you're looking for business related, or let's say after database, then client server, then RIS2, then SASE. So you can basically find out what kind of application in that particular categories are there. Okay. So you will see all those application inside the Palo Alto Firewall, right? And if the application is not supported in the application ID, maybe if you remember in the last video I have covered, there are 3 steps which can identify by app ID to understand the application. If it is not, then it will be considered as unknown, right? So this is how it basically happens, and this is how, and this is the latest number that we are having currently in Palo Alto website, which is applipedia.paloaltonetworks.com. Maybe when you are seeing this particular video after maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, or maybe one application might be get add or something, or if you are checking after a month or something, maybe you will have an extra number because it is keep on increasing day by day. Okay. So friends, let's review one of the application. Okay. Now we are taking an application which is named as YouTube base. Now we have other application in YouTube as well. We have taken this application as a base one, and we have other as well. So let's review this and let's move on to that particular page where we have other applications for YouTube. We are going to see this. So whenever we apply or whenever we call application automatically the port number gets also come with that particular application. It is not that when you are allowing YouTube you have to allow the port number. It is basically comes with an application. It is already configured. Now you can see the dependency. I have told you that every application is basically, it will get transformed from one to another, right? So first it will be a TCP connection, then it will be an HTTP connection, then it will be a base, then it will be a full-fledged application, which I have already explained. So we have some dependency on it. So for Google or YouTube to work, we have to have a Google base allowed, and this will be suggested by the Palo Alto itself. You don't need to remember all this, right? And if you want to know about YouTube, you can just go to Wikipedia, Google, or Yahoo, and it is just in the description of YouTube what exactly it is. Okay, so if you want to understand, you can basically read about it. Now application has characteristics. Now this characteristics is basically for classifying what is the risk level. Okay, now evasive is basically bypassing the securities into the network. So it has that particular characteristics. Okay, it can bypass the security functionality of the network. It uses it basically having an excessive bandwidth usage, because we are using YouTubes and all, right? Used by malware, yes. Capability or capable of file transfer, no, we cannot do that. Known vulnerabilities, yes. Okay, tunnel to other application, no. Prone to misuse, no. Widely used, yes. It is not a SaaS, right? So the more yes you have in this particular characteristics, the higher the risk will be. Okay. Now, what is the category of this? This is media subcategory, photo and videos, and risk level. So it basically, the characteristics define the risk over here. Now just think about it. If it is used by malware, or it has a vulnerabilities, and it is basically prone to misuse, let's say if it's yes, so it is very much risky, right? Because it can be used by malware, it has vulnerabilities. So what does it mean? What it basically signifies? It signifies that if you are using this particular application in your environment, these kind of things can happen in your environment, right? So it basically provides, or it gives a rating that what is the risk level of when you are allowing an application in your environment, what is the risk level that you have to accept, and which is rated by Palo Alto itself, because it basically do lot of analysis into the network and try to get this particular on the base of characteristics, it basically defines this risk. Okay. Then we have options. Option in sense, like every connection has their timeout values, right? So as YouTube is TCP an application, so it has some timeout values. Okay. This is basically a global timeout values, but still if you want your timeout value to be changed specifically for YouTube base, you can customize that particular options. Right? So these things can be customizable, or these things can be changed specifically to specific application itself. Even you can change your risk level as well. Let's say if you think YouTube is needed for your organization and needed for business purpose, then you can change this risk value to something else. Now you say that in my environment, risk level 2, all the application which has a risk level 2 would be allowed. Now in that particular case, this application will not come. So what you have to do, you have to customize and make it as 2 so that it will come to your policy, right? So you can customize the risk level, you can customize the timeout values according to your need as well. So this is how you can basically treat an application. This is how you can modify some of the things. Okay. Now let's see how we can configure an application inside Palo Alto Firewall, inside policy. We are going to see further. Okay. So now friends, we are going to configure application ID in policy in Palo Alto firewall. We are going to see how we configure it. So for that, we'll go to the lab. Okay. Now, before we start configuring the Palo Alto app ID, I just wanted to show you, as I said it in YouTube, we have multiple layers of application, as you can see. Okay. As this is base where your page will load properly, and after that we have a post, like if we are posting some of the comments, then we have safety mode, then we have streaming, then TV streaming, and upload. So all these applications have their own way of a pattern. Like when we are uploading something, we are basically uploading a file on YouTube, there is a different pattern of traffic. So it basically understand these things in YouTube. If I try to search any other application, for an example for Facebook, so let me show you. In Facebook we have app, base, chat, code, downloading, and so many other things in related to Facebook. So we have that kind of granular control. We want something to be blocked, something to be allowed. We can basically control that particular things in here. Okay. Now this is a very small lab that we are having. Okay. And we are going to just allow some of the applications and we'll see how exactly it works. Okay. In upcoming videos, I'll be basically blocking some of the specific applications of specific action. I will show you that as well. Okay. So for now, I'll just take an application and allow or deny. Okay. And I'll show you how we can do that. Okay. So friends, what we are going to do is we are going to configure an IP address over here in this particular range, as we have already done it. I'll just show you. And right now what we are going to do is we are going to create a security policy. Okay. I have already created the NAT policy because it is basically a repetitive task. That is the reason I'm not taking it in this particular video. I am going to create a security policy and I'll call then application, and we'll see whether it's working or not and how that suggestion comes for an application. Okay. So I've already configured the IP addresses. If I go to the policy, I have no policy, but I have a PAT policy, which is, you can see, right? So what I'm going to do, I'll create a policy. Now, first policy, which is only to allow the DNS traffic. Okay. So I'll just allow the DNS traffic, which is coming from inside. The source is 192.168.20.0/24, and destination, it is going to outside. I'm not specifying anything here. In application, I'll just specify DNS, right? So let's call DNS and we are good. Okay. And now I will just allow YouTube for that reason, and after that everything should be blocked. Okay. So let's say YouTube, right? My source would be inside and my IP address will be .20 0/24, right? And outside would be anything, but in application I'm going to call YouTube. Okay, so let's call YouTube base. Where is the YouTube base? Here. So as soon as I allowed this, you can see the dependent and suggestion has come. So I just need to click here. I have to add into the current rule, right? Now I've added Google base and I've added YouTube, both the application I've added. Okay, now everything should be allowed. Okay. And let's commit this configuration and we'll see whether it's working or not. Okay. So let the commit happens and then start the video again. So friends, the commit process has been completed successfully. Okay, now we have both the rules configured over here. Okay, so I've done it wrongly. I guess we have to change it to 10. Okay, so let's put it at 10, and I'll put this one as a 10 as well, and then I'll go for a commit again. So I'll just stop the video again to get this commit done, and after that I'll start it. Okay, commit has been done. Let's move on to the test PC and we'll try some of the connections. Okay, so in the policy I can see I have allowed Google Base and YouTube, and that should work. Okay, so let's go and try to search www.youtube.com, and we can see that it is getting loaded. Okay, if I go to google.com with proper www.google.com, or I'll just put https. Okay, and it is working. As you can see, if I go to gmail.com, it will not work. Okay, and if I go to, let's say, linkedin.com, so LinkedIn, the search is also working because it comes in the Google base. Okay, and if I go to linkedin.com, it will also not work. Okay, now why the application block message is not coming, I will explain you. Because SSL inspection is not implemented, that is the reason. Okay, so right now I cannot cover it because you guys will not be able to understand properly. So let's go to that particular video session, and then I'll show you how exactly it happens. Okay, for now you just understand whatever that we have allowed, it is working, and whatever that we have not allowed, it is not working. Okay, I will show you how an Facebook or any other application, if I wanted to show you some of the action which is not working, for that I have to implement SSL decryption, which I'm going to cover further. So maybe in further videos what I can do is I will explain you how the SSL decryption works. So after this particular topic, we'll go to SSL decryption and we'll try to do it, and we'll try to understand how exactly it works. Okay, so this is what I wanted to cover in this particular video. If you have got to know something new, or if you are facing something, some issues related to application ID, please comment down, or if you have any suggestion for my video, you can reach out to me in any social media handles, or you can also comment down as well. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. And also I'll request you to please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss any video from me. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next.